Now, we ought not be surprised at Morning Joe's 180 on Donald Trump after the election, even though before the election he was a fascist. Now he's no longer a fascist. He's sitting down and dining with a fascist at Mar-a-Lago. How about his 180 on his colleague and friend at MSNBC? I'm speaking, of course, of the Reverend Al Sharpton. When Scarborough was in the House, he introduced a resolution, and it was called Condemning the Racist and Anti-Semitic Views of the Reverend Al Sharpton. It read, in part, whereas Congress strongly rejects the racist and incendiary actions of the Reverend Al Sharpton, whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton has referred to members of the Jewish faith as blood-sucking Jews and Jew B-words, whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton has referred to members of the Jewish faith as white interlopers and diamond merchants. And it went on to talk about his role in the Tawana Brawley hoax, where he falsely accused a white man of raping Tawana Brawley. Never apologized, by the way, for it. A New York grand jury found the whole thing to be a complete and total lie, and to this day, Sharpton has never apologized for it. And then his role in the Crown Heights riots, we talked about that before, in 1991. He incited. You had a situation where a bunch of blacks were attacking Jews. One Jewish leader called it the most serious pogrom in American history. The most serious pogrom in American history. And Al Sharpton was right in the thick of it. If the Jews want to pin their yarmulkes on their heads and come from my house, let them come over and we'll get it on. Now, they both have shows on MSNBC, and frequently Al Sharpton, having long since ditched his tracksuits, wearing very nice suits, sits there with Joe, and they lick each other to death. Same guy that you called a race-hustling, Tawana Brawley lying, anti-Semitic, anti-white man. All is forgiven, even though Scarborough has never received an apology from Al Sharpton for what he said about Tawana Brawley. He's never apologized, but whatever. I guess the statute of limitations kicked in and no longer matters. So you shouldn't be surprised